Most people beyond the age of 40 do not understand that in order to burn stubborn body fat, when you eat can be just as important as what you eat. And inside this video, I'm going to share exactly what I ate Monday through Friday following 75 hard deplete days that allowed me at 50 years old to take my body fat from over 15% all the way to below 6%. Here we are. It's been about 5 or 6 weeks now, and I'm still maintaining somewhere around 7% body fat. So inside this video, I'm going to share how I did it. So you're going to see a bunch of information up here on the whiteboard. And the first thing that I want to do is I want to talk about my no snacking principle. So before I dive into exactly when and what I ate along with the macronutrients, I want to share my synergy triangle with you, because really this is the only three things that matters if you're over 40 years old and your goal is to lose stubborn body fat. I want to talk about how I implemented a no snacking principle during 75 hard and what a difference that this can make in your overall fat loss goals and the way that you feel and disease prevention. So my synergy triangle requires three different things. Number one is timing. Number two is combinations. And number three is portion control. So inside this video, I'm going to talk strictly about timing, and then in the next couple videos, we'll dive into combinations and portion control. So I have a no snacking principle because not only do I believe in having a fasting and a feeding window that is set up the same exact way, at least Monday through Friday, if not 7 days of the week. I personally like to be social on the weekends and enjoy breakfast and stuff like that with my family and my grandkids. However, if you could do this 7 days a week, it would be even better because of hormonal entrainment. So having a time of day, each and every day where you stop eating and you start eating, at least Monday through Friday, is probably the best way to train your hormones to burn stored body fat. So personally, I have my last meal of the day every single night between 8 and 9 p.m. And then what I do is I fast for 16 hours. So over here, you're going to see I have my first meal typically around noon or 1 p.m. the next day. So I have a no snacking principle during that fasted window. Why? Because snacking actually could be making you fatter and sicker. So let's talk about why. So over here, you're going to see two little columns. One's called a fasted column and the one's called fed. So we have a no snacking column versus a snacking column. Now, when I first started in this industry over 20 years ago, I earned a level 2 personal training and nutrition certification. And I was taught right in a textbook that you need to be feeding your body every 3 to 4 hours or your metabolism is going to slow down. Now we know 20 years later that this is a myth, and all the research backs this up now, that actually during a fasted window when you are not eating, your metabolic rate actually goes up and it increases. The exact opposite of what I was taught over 2 decades ago when I started in this industry. So using a fed and a fasted window is one of the best things that you can do to train your hormones and burn stored body fat, because in a fasted state, insulin levels are very, very low, okay? When insulin levels are elevated from a snack, even if it's a healthy snack, your body can't use stored fat as a fuel source. So if you're snacking every 3 or 4 hours throughout the day, or you're having a meal, even if it's a small meal, every 3 or 4 hours throughout the day, you're constantly taking your body out of a fat-burning environment, and you're giving yourself a little mini insulin spikes every couple hours. Well, research shows that over time, this decreases your body's insulin sensitivity, and this would ultimately can end up leading to things like type 2 diabetes. So it's in your best interest to avoid snacking altogether and instead use some type of intermittent fasting, because insulin is very low when you're fasted. That allows your body to use stored fat as a fuel source, and insulin is very high when you're in a fed state. So snacking increases your body's fat storage hormone. The second hormone is growth hormone. When you're in a fasted state, your sympathetic nervous system elevates really high. This is your body's fight or flight response because you're not feeding your body anything, so this coaxes the body to release more growth hormone. Your pituitary gland will start releasing growth hormone about 12 hours into a fast. And in fact, research shows that 24-hour fasts can increase growth hormone 600 to 1200%. This is a dramatic increase in your body's fountain of youth hormone. Now, conversely, when you snack or you're in a fed state, growth hormone decreases. So again, another reason why you want to use a fasted and a fed window. The last hormone is adrenaline. It's the same thing as growth hormone, except your pituitary releasing it, it's your adrenal glands that release it. So in a fasted state, The adrenal glands will release adrenaline and other hormones called catecholamines. Catecholamines are responsible for releasing fatty acids from your fat cells and releasing them into the bloodstream where they can be delivered to working tissue and burned off. This is why I highly recommend a brisk walk or some type of high intensity exercise during the fasted window, because your body already has super low insulin levels and high catecholamine levels. So you're releasing fatty acids from fat cells into the bloodstream, but you want to burn them off. You want to deliver them to working tissue like liver, muscle, and heart tissue to burn them off. So using some form of high intensity exercise or even some form of brisk walking during the fasted window is just going to enhance this process even more and allow you to burn more belly fat. So hopefully this gives you some insights to why you should stop snacking and incorporate some type of intermittent fasting. Before I sign off on this video, there's all kinds of other benefits that happen when you use intermittent fasting. It's not the be all end all, but the first thing that it does is it eliminates your emotional attachment to food. See, when you get it in your head that if you're hungry, your metabolism is slowing down or you're losing muscle, this becomes head trash. And now you have an emotional attachment to eating every 3 or 4 hours. But if you get it into your head that when you have a hunger pang, you're releasing more adrenaline, catecholamines, and growth hormone, and you have a positive association with your hunger, now your mental approach to dieting in general completely flips the switch and changes altogether. So it eliminates your emotional attachment to food. The other thing it does is it creates something called autophagy. So about 12 to 14 hours into a fasted window, your body's cells start cleansing themselves through a process called autophagy. Now, autophagy has profound benefits. People who have high autophagy have been shown to live longer, they have less disease, they have more energy, all that other good stuff. So hopefully you got something out of this. If you did, do me a favor, watch the next video, because I'm going to dive into deplete days and exactly what I ate meal by meal at 50 years old that took my body fat from over 15% to below 6%. So thanks for watching this and keep going strong.